up, y'all? It's Hot Mike Sports. We back with another episode of Steel City Sagas, y'all. And guess what? I don't know how to feel about this win today because I expect a lot more out of my team at this point in the season. I was expecting us to find our identity, know who we are, know we're going to be going forward. But it just seems like to be the same old thing every week. An offense with no explosive plays, a defense that's containing the offense, waiting for the offense to come in and make a play. Our defense does a good job. I'm finally sold on them. They will try to contain, I won't say try, but they do contain the opposing offense. And it's like when the offense gets on the field for the Steelers, it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? And today, I was very, very upset. Not even going to lie to you. I don't know where DK Metcalf is. 2 crucial offensive interference penalties a day. He can't seem to get separation on his defenders. The only way he seems to get open is these little routes going across the middle of the field. I don't really understand where he plays his part in the offense. I don't really see him making, a big impact on offense, and we paid him all this money. I'm just trying to figure out what they're doing. Rodgers, I keep saying this about Rodgers. Rodgers' body is breaking down on him. Last week, a few people got mad at me because I'm just speaking the truth. Oh, he threw interceptions off of tip balls. Well, an interception is an interception, right? If he could be making these throws, he still would be making these throws. He went out of the game with seemed to be a right forearm injury or wrist injury. I guess we'll find out later on what that is. But at the end of the day, who is going to be the quarterback? They brought in Mason Rudolph, right? Mason Rudolph came in, and he had a decent game. He threw for 127 yards. He threw a touchdown the game well. He really controlled the offense of what he could do. But like I said, there was no explosive plays. No balls being thrown down the field. Nobody really, setting the tone. And so I noticed that even when Rodgers was in the game, we have I guess you could call it a check down offense, right? Don't have receivers who can get separation on defenders. We have to scheme them open across the field or nobody's going to get open. We have DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin III, and Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Washington is a big, big, big key player for our team, and we should use him more. I mean, the guy's 6'7". I mean, look at him. He's a giant out there amongst those boys. A giant amongst men. We need to feed him the ball more often. He made some big plays today. He was unstoppable. The Bengals couldn't do nothing with him, and eventually they didn't even want to tackle him anymore. But once again, the wide receivers are just leaving the tight ends on the island. They're leaving the running backs on the island. Jaylen Warren today, once again, under 100 yards. What is happening to Pittsburgh football, y'all? What is happening to pounding the rock? What's happening? What's going on? We play defense. The defense took a little while. I understand that. They're a little up there in age, as far as for sports goes. But veteran leadership in the locker room, we need it, okay? But other than that, we need that big play on the field. I noticed today things got chippy between Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. I loved every minute of it. But Jalen Ramsey has to be a better leader. He can't be getting thrown out of games for throwing punches. That's just unacceptable. Steelers have a standard. I love Jalen Ramsey. I love what he brings to the table at this point in his career playing safety. I love his feistiness. I think he embodies Pittsburgh football with the attitude and just playing gnarly on the field. But he's got to know when to control it. Throwing punches on the field, nobody's going to go for that. And I love Jalen Ramsey. What concerns me today is we had 1 sack, y'all. 1 sack on defense. TJ Watt, what is going on, man? Are we watching TJ Watt just leave his prime like this? Big contract, expecting big year from him, but he just seems to be fading into the distance. And don't get me wrong, he's still a playmaker, but not the playmaker that he once was. He could change a game with 1 play. Now he's leaning more towards, batted passes. I notice he gets a lot of chip blocks, don't get me wrong, but I still need to see more effectiveness from TJ Watt. Nick Herbig, is a big player on his defense, okay? He is out there getting sacks. He's out there making plays. I love to see it, man. I love to see it. I'm going to say something about this, too. Here where I live in Hickory, North Carolina, LR, we have somebody playing for the Steelers, y'all, Kyle Duggar. Big trade we got from the New England Patriots. He made a big play today. He had an interception return for a touchdown. We have playmakers, y'all. We have playmakers. It's just the fact of the defense cannot hold teams forever, y'all. The offense has to do something. Aaron Rodgers was only on pace to throw for 128 yards. He wasn't set to have a big game. And then you have Mason Rudolph who comes in. He's like, okay, been here, done that. This is my team. I know what to do. The fans embrace him. I mean, we love him as a Steeler. But he's never been the guy. If that was the case, he would have been the guy already. He's had plenty of opportunities. But for whatever reason, there's something we just don't see in him. And maybe it's because we head on to Ben Roethlisberger. Or maybe it's because we brought in a 41-year-old quarterback who is not even seems to be good enough to manage games anymore. He starts off and then it's like his body breaks down on him. And I don't know what else to say because I'm looking for explosive plays from the offense. Our running backs are leading us in receiving right now, y'all. Do you understand? 7 catches, 81 yards is more than any wide receiver had out there today. And that came from Gainwell, y'all. Come on, like, what is going on? What is going on, Steelers? We got to fix our offense because this scares me heading into the playoffs. We're barely hanging on to our playoff spot in our division lead. So we need to improve the offense. The defense just need to continue to play as good as they can play. Hold teams as much as we can hold them because if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get it together, y'all, and we can't develop a running game, we are done. We are cooked, y'all. You can just forget about it. It'd be another first-round exit from the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. And as a longtime Steelers fan, and if you're a longtime Steelers fan, I'm sure you're tired of seeing this. Not one playoff win since 2016, and we will not go for that this year, y'all. This has been Devin Hot Mike Sports. I appreciate you joining me for our Steel City Sagas. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Follow, like, subscribe, y'all. I'll see you next time.